Hi guys, it's me Dinithi. This is the 8th video of the series of designing an e-commerce web application, and today I'm going to take you guys through the programming part behind our homepage, including session management and product listing. So here's our homepage. Since I discussed the designing part earlier, I'll dig into the programming part directly. So the very first time I used PHP programming in this page is to get our user's name to this welcome message. Moving on to my code, here's how I did it. First, I started a session and then I checked whether this u variable has a value or not. So what's u? Going into my sign in process. So u is actually our username and password we entered when we were signing in to our account. Moving back to header.php. So if u has a value, I assign that value to this data variable, and then comes the span I used for my welcome message. First comes welcome, and then I used this code line to get the first name of our user using the email address, and that's how I got welcome Dinithi. Then I used a little bit of programming to this sign out option. So if you haven't signed in the very first place, then this u variable has no value. That's when this anchor tag works. It'll ask you to sign in or register. And then I used some PHP to program this categories dropdown. Moving back to my code, here's the option tag I used for this. So initially it will display all categories, but once you hit the drop down button, all the categories will be displayed. So how does that work? First, I linked my database using connection.php. Then I used this search query to get all the data from category table. And over here, I got the number of rows of the result set using numRows. And then I used this for loop. First, I initialized the loop counter, which is $x to 0. And then I asked it to continue the loop until $x is less than the number of the rows of the result set, which is category num. And by using $x++, I asked it to increase the loop counter by 1 for each iteration, and I fetched each result row one by one until it passed the category num limit. And then I created an option tag using the rows I fetched. So over here, I assigned the ID of the category table as the value and the name of the category as the option name, and that's how I got all the category names easily without hard coding. This is how I used category names as headings without typing them one by one. I started it with searching for all the data from our category table. Then I got the number of rows and assigned it to this cnum. Then comes the for loop. It's gonna start from 0 and iterate until y doesn't pass cnum, and it's gonna increase the value by 1 after each iteration. Then I fetched each row that fulfill above conditions and assigned it to this cData variable. And over here, I called for the category name using cData. Then comes our product cards. I begin it with searching for all the items in the product table, where category ID equals to the category ID we got in our cData variable. And I ordered them according to the time they were added. So the latest one comes first. And then I added a limit of 6. So the products of the sixth one won't be visible. And this way it will look more organized. And the latest ones will always come up first. Then comes this for loop, where I fetched each and every product that fulfills these conditions one by one. And then the card. Over here, first I got the image of our product using this search query, and then I added the product title and price using the same method we used earlier. And then when it comes to the quantity, if the quantity is more than 0, which means yes, there are products in stock, I asked it to use these code lines and show that this many of items are still available in stock, while giving the users the options to buy it now or add it to their cart. But if the quantity is less than 0, then it will display that the product is out of stock. And whether it's available or not, you can always add it to your watch list. That's why I didn't add this watch list button inside the if statement. So that concludes all the times I used PHP programming in this page. In this video, I discussed how I programmed the home page with session management and latest product listing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you all again. Goodbye.